What's up, Sports Beat fans? I'm your host, Kyle Russo, joined here with Jason Weick and Amelia Bashy. The NFL is in full swing, and tonight we are going to discuss the pretenders and the contenders of the NFL season. Let's get started. Guys, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-2 on the season. They have a stellar offense and a stellar defense. However, 2 weeks ago, they suffered a loss to the Denver Broncos, in which at one point in the game, they were down 30-0. Are the Dallas Cowboys pretenders or contenders? Jason.
So 100% they're contenders. They have pass catchers galore on that offense. They have a great run defense, great O-line. The defensive line also making huge strides with Micah Parsons. He's been playing great. And Diggs, obviously, he's gotten a little bit of criticism. They're saying he's giving up a lot of yards over the middle. He has 8 interceptions. Huge thing if you get one interception a game, that's great. He has a couple where he has multiple. Huge game turner. You're getting the ball short field for Dak Prescott. Can't ask for much more.
I agree. And, injuries have been a really scary thing for this team so far this year. Dak Prescott just coming back from a calf injury, and now Ezekiel Elliott having issues with his knee, which he's been having all season. Scary for Dallas fans. But that doesn't stop them from being a really dominant team. They just had their off game this week, losing to the Broncos. Not good. But you know what? They'll come back stronger because that's what Dallas does. So I believe they are contenders.
The next team I want to get into is the Baltimore Ravens, who are 6-3 on the season. With Lamar Jackson as their quarterback, they are a very versatile team and difficult team to beat. However, they just suffered a surprising loss to the Miami Dolphins, who going into that game were 2-7 and had multiple quarterback changes during the game. So are the Baltimore Ravens pretenders or contenders? Jason.
So I have 2 words, cover 0. Blitz, play man. Lamar looked like he was playing high school football, and he was the player that was facing the best team in the area. You're seeing here, when he gets pressure, he's not really great at throwing on the run. He's a great runner, but when he faces the pressure, it's a lot of trouble. They don't really have much of a run game because they just cut Le'Veon. They had all the injuries at the beginning of the year. So their run game is essentially him. And when you have him with 8 interceptions, that's not great either. So what are you looking at? Okay, maybe your defense is helping you. They lost pieces in the offseason, including Matthew Judon, one of my favorite players that was from that team. And I'm just seeing a lot of issues right now that don't say to me Super Bowl winner. I see maybe playoffs, not a Super Bowl. Lamar's not going to be the one to go into a hostile environment and win the game.
I agree. I believe the Ravens can get far this year. They are capable of getting to the playoffs. Super Bowl, it may be a stretch. But this game that they just lost recently, Coach John Harbaugh and defensive end Calais Campbell, they both said that this was not their game and they didn't play good football. So we're going to come back better the next time. And with this mentality for this team is going to get them to the playoffs. So I believe they are playoff contenders, but not so much Super Bowl contenders.
Now, the next team I want to get into is the LA Rams, who are 7-3 on the season. And, guys, they just had 2 major acquisitions in Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. However, they have lost Robert Woods for the rest of the season after suffering a torn ACL injury in practice. And 2 of their 3 losses this season have come against 2 of the best teams in football in the Tennessee Titans and the Arizona Cardinals. So are the LA Rams pretenders or contenders? Jason.
So Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes. You lose Woods, you pick up OBJ. You think that this is a match made in heaven, right? But it's not. They play this position 2 completely different styles. With what Woods is able to do in the slot, getting across the middle, getting a lot of attention so the cup could get open, now that he's not able to get his open because there's a distraction of Woods, OBJ is an elite player. I don't think he's good. He's not elite. That loss of Woods, I think, is really going to see, as you've seen with the past couple weeks, the offense is slowly tanking. Stafford is not as reliable. He doesn't have as reliable pass catcher. And they're getting beat physically. That's both those losses. They lost physically. You can't teach physicality. Both sides of the ball, the line looks scared right now.
I want to hope that they're going to remain contenders for the rest of the season. But you can argue the fact that they are pretenders as well because Stafford does not do well under pressure. A known tactic that he's had this season is thrown it to Cooper Kupp when he's in trouble, which Arizona was able to figure out. The Tennessee Titans were able to put pressure on Stafford as well, and when he threw the ball, he threw an interception. So with that issue with Stafford, I believe they are pretenders.
Now, the last team that I want to get into is the New England Patriots, who are 6-4 on the season. They've won their last 4 games in a row. However, they have a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones, and 3 of their last 5 games of the season, 2 of those games come against divisional rival Buffalo Bills, and 1 of those games coming against the Tennessee Titans. Are the New England Patriots contenders or pretenders, Jason?
Right now, they're contenders. Those games will further solidify if I'm right or wrong. But I'll say this right now. When the Patriots won the Super Bowl all those years ago at the beginning of the dynasty, what was the story? Brady was a young, inexperienced quarterback, but he had a great defense and a great run offense that was able to carry him, and he was able to be a great game manager. One of his specialties was not turning the ball over. During this win streak, Mac Jones has only turned the ball over once. 6 touchdowns, 861 yards. Nothing too flashy, very efficient. He knows his role. And also, he played Alabama. He's played some huge games under pressure in the lights of the SEC. I think if it comes playoff time, he's in a hostile environment, he can handle himself. And who better to lead him than Bill Belichick?
So the Patriots, in my opinion, are playoff contenders, not Super Bowl contenders. Because, yes, Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback, which if you look at his past games, you can say, oh my gosh, he is going to be a Super Bowl contender, hands down. But with the offense, that they've been struggling a little bit. Same with defense. They've lost a couple of players, both sides. So it's been a pretty difficult season. So maybe give them a year or 2 to be Super Bowl contenders. I'm just happy now that people are waking up to see that Mac Jones is a really great quarterback. If you look at the Dallas game, if you look at the Tampa Bay game, he was amazing, had better stats than Tom Brady during the Bucs game. But like I said earlier, they are playoff contenders, not Super Bowl contenders.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have here for this segment. I want to thank my 2 panelists, Jason Weick and Amelia Bashy, for joining me. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at HofstraSB, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see our latest episodes. I'm Kyle Russo. Have a great night.